She was only 19, a college student with a bright future, until one secret cost her everything. What happened in the heart of New York shocked the nation and left a family shattered. This isn't a thriller. This isn't fiction. This is the story of Emma Clark, a young woman whose life was stolen in the shadows of ambition and deception. Stay with us, because the truth is more chilling than anyone imagined. Emma Clark grew up in a quiet town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone knew your name and dreams felt too big for Main Street. She was the first in her family to attend a 4-year university, and when she got accepted to study business at a college in New York City, her parents couldn't have been prouder. Emma was smart, driven, and determined to make something of herself. She spent her days attending lectures, her evenings working part-time at a campus cafe, and her weekends exploring the city that never sleeps. To her friends, she seemed to have it all figured out. But beneath the surface, Emma was struggling. The cost of living in New York was crushing. Rent, textbooks, food, it all added up faster than her paycheck could cover. She didn't want to burden her parents, who had already sacrificed so much to send her there. So Emma started looking for other ways to make ends meet, and that's when she stumbled upon something that would change everything. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. It started with an app. Emma had heard whispers around campus about students who were meeting older, wealthier individuals who were willing to help them financially in exchange for companionship. At first, she dismissed it. But as her bank account dwindled and the stress mounted, she convinced herself it was harmless. She created a profile, and within days she matched with a man named Michael Hayes. He was 43, a successful real estate developer with properties across Manhattan. He was charming, articulate, and generous. Their first meeting was at an upscale restaurant in Midtown. Michael paid for everything and handed Emma an envelope with $500 in cash before she even asked. He told her he just wanted someone to talk to, someone who reminded him of his daughter who had moved abroad. Emma felt relieved. This seemed safe, transactional, and most importantly, it solved her financial problems. But over the following weeks, Michael's behavior began to shift. The dinners became more frequent, the gifts became more extravagant, and the text messages became more demanding. He wanted to know where she was, who she was with, and when she could see him next. Emma started to feel trapped, but the money kept coming, and she convinced herself she could handle it. By early November, Emma's friends noticed a change. She was more secretive, more withdrawn. She canceled plans last minute and avoided questions about how she was affording her new clothes and gadgets. One of her roommates, Jessica, confronted her one night after Emma came home late again. Emma broke down and admitted she had been seeing an older man for financial support. Jessica was horrified and begged her to stop, but Emma insisted she had everything under control. She promised she would end it soon, right after she saved enough to cover the rest of the semester. That conversation haunted Jessica for the rest of her life. Because 2 weeks later, on a cold Friday night in late November, Emma went to meet Michael one last time. She had texted him earlier that day, telling him she couldn't continue their arrangement. She wanted out. Michael responded with a simple message: "Let's talk in person. Come to my place tonight." Emma hesitated, but agreed. She told Jessica she would be back by midnight. Midnight came and went. The investigation moved quickly. Detectives traced Emma's phone records and discovered her last known location was Michael's penthouse apartment in the Upper West Side. When officers arrived at the building, the doorman confirmed that Emma had entered the night before, but never left. Michael wasn't home. A search warrant was issued, and what they found inside was devastating. Emma's body was discovered in the bathroom, lifeless. The medical examiner later determined she had been strangled. There were signs of a struggle, bruises on her arms, and her belongings were scattered across the apartment. Michael Hayes had vanished. His car was gone, his phone was off, and his credit cards hadn't been used since that night. A manhunt began immediately. Detectives dug into Michael's background and uncovered a disturbing pattern. He had a history of seeking out young women through similar apps, offering financial support, and then becoming controlling and possessive. 2 other women came forward after seeing his photo on the news, describing nearly identical experiences. One of them had filed a restraining order against him years earlier, but it had expired. Michael Hayes wasn't just a manipulator, he was a predator. 3 days after Emma's body was found, Michael was apprehended at a motel near the Canadian border. He had shaved his head, changed his appearance, and was preparing to flee the country. During questioning, he initially denied everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. Security footage showed Emma entering his apartment. Her DNA was found throughout the scene, and text messages revealed the toxic, obsessive nature of their relationship. Michael finally admitted to the killing, but claimed it was an accident, that Emma had threatened to expose him and ruin his reputation, and that things had gotten out of hand. The district attorney wasn't buying it. The strangulation, the attempt to flee, the pattern of predatory behavior, it all pointed to premeditated murder. Michael Hayes was charged with second-degree murder and held without bail. The trial began 6 months later and lasted 3 weeks. Emma's family sat in the courtroom every single day, clutching photographs of their daughter and struggling to understand how this could have happened. The prosecution painted a clear picture of manipulation, control, and ultimately violence. The defense tried to argue that Emma had been complicit, that she knew what she was getting into, but the jury saw through it. After just 4 hours of deliberation, Michael Hayes was found guilty. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Emma's story didn't end with the conviction. It sparked a national conversation about the dangers young people face when desperation meets exploitation. Her university held a memorial service, and hundreds of students attended, many of them admitting they had considered similar arrangements themselves. Emma's parents started a foundation in her name, dedicated to providing financial assistance to students in need, so that no one else would feel forced into dangerous situations just to survive. They also pushed for stricter regulations on the platforms that facilitate these kinds of relationships, arguing that companies have a responsibility to protect vulnerable users. Some changes have been made, but many advocates say it's not enough. How would you feel if this happened to someone you loved? Could you forgive yourself for not seeing the warning signs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Emma Clark was just 19 years old when her life was stolen. She was intelligent, ambitious, and full of potential. She made a choice born out of desperation, and it cost her everything. But her story is a reminder that behind every transaction, every secret relationship, every late-night meeting, there is a real person with real dreams and real fears. We owe it to Emma and to every young person navigating this complicated world to create systems that protect rather than exploit. Her memory lives on, not just in the hearts of those who loved her, but in the lives she may have saved by exposing the truth. If Emma's story moved you, please share this video to raise awareness. Let us know in the comments, do you think justice was truly served? And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories where we uncover the truth behind the headlines. Thank you for watching.